How is it going, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 240, and the title of this week's chapter is Power.
Physical power isn't the only thing that weakens. The heart does as well.
Nah, it's all about power.
This title is probably referencing the power that Shigaraki has obtained over the course of this arc, but more specifically, after the events of last week's chapter. Because when you really stop and think about what Shigaraki has obtained power-wise, it's crazy. But coming off of last week's chapter, we've reached the climax of My Villain Academia. So I'm curious, going into this chapter, whether we're going to stick with the League of Villains, or maybe we're just going to switch over to our heroes and then just jump into a new story arc. Either way, I'm excited, and I'm ready to find out where we're off to next. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 240. Let's see where we go next. 1 week after the Second Coming Festival battle in Daika City. Okay, so it looks like we're getting a little bit of a flash forward. So we are 1 week removed from the events of last chapter, after the deadly battle.
Jesus.
And then we just got another panel of that gigantic crater in the middle of the town. It looks like a gigantic meteor came down and just obliterated Daika City. Like, Daika City is Camino 2.0. This is Camino level destruction right here.
The heroes began rescue operations, but the scope of the damage is staggering. Authorities are estimating a large number of casualties.
According to witnesses, the culprits who caused the tragedy that occurred in this once peaceful town were a group of 20 who held a grudge against heroes. The Liberation Army is twisting the story, aren't they?
Correct!
It is believed to have been a planned rebellion. The insurgents allegedly leaked fake information to the heroes in order to lead them out of town before commencing their attack. Witnessing this sudden disaster, the citizens of Daika banded together and fought back. Yeah, that is exactly what they're doing. The League is nowhere to be seen in this story right here. All the public knows is that a group of 20 villains attacked this town. And you can see my boy, Feel Good, at the computer desk. He's editing the video together, isn't he? He's taking the video footage from all of the cameras around the town, splicing the League of Villains out, and then just putting in 20 random villains.
No shock, shit it, get it. Keep all your captains in it steady. Watch me travel.
The heroes ultimately joined them, and a battle ensued. Although many of Daika's citizens fell victim to the attack, all 20 of the culprits were ultimately killed in the conflict. Furthermore, the president and CEO of Detnerat Corporation, Mr. Rikiya Yotsubashi, also happened to be present in Daika City during the attack. He suffered grievous injuries, including 2 severed legs, narrowly escaping death. Okay, so even the public knows that Mr. Rikiya was present there and lost his legs. And you can even see 2 newspaper articles right here with Miss Curious. R.I.P. Miss Curious. Terrorism in protest of Detnerat hero support industry. Meeting. Shueisha executive found dead while accompanying Detnerat CEO.
Coincidence? I think not!
Although some critics have remarked that untrained civilians using their quirks led to increased casualties, the vast majority of the public is lauding the citizens of Daika as heroes. At this time, many of the details remain unclear, and the investigation is ongoing. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting moving forward. This right here is planting the seeds within hero society to where the public is going to start questioning whether or not they even need heroes. Because with this story right here of just normal citizens fighting back against villains before the heroes could even arrive, people are going to be like, well, if we could defend ourselves, why do we even need heroes to do that job for us?
The revolution has begun.
And then eventually, that seed is going to grow into them thinking about quirk liberation, them being able to use their quirks freely. Even though the Liberation Army lost, they still kind of won in a way. But it looks like we're switching over to some mansion in the middle of nowhere. Yo! The League got their sushi after all. They basically got their shawarma moment. So this is what they meant when they said calm always follows the storm. And Mr. Compress is just shoving food right into his mouth. And then Dabi is saying, you didn't even do anything. Yo, Dabi. Calling Mr. Compress right out on it. He's like, why are you stuffing your face right now, Mr. Compress? You barely fought in the battle to earn this meal. Why are you eating right now? Haha! Oh, but I did. I ran around a lot. I mean, technically he's not wrong. He was running around a lot. That is for sure.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Run.
But now we see Spinner down here, just licking his fingers. Hey, Dabi, are you gonna eat that? If not, hand it over. Knock yourself out. I hate fish. And then we see Twice. He's crying in this panel right here. He's got like a picture of Toga set up, and he's hitting some cup with whatever he's got in his mouth. Sob, I'm sorry, Toga. If Toga hadn't shared her blood, Toga would be dead right now. And he's just repeatedly dinging that cup. Twice is mourning the death of the Toga clone. Because you can see the real Toga is alive and well right there. And she's got an eye patch on.
Arrgh, matey.
Twice is mourning the death of the clone. Man, you gotta love Twice. He is the best. Could you please stop that? I'm actually alive, so it's making me angry. But damn, does Toga look good in this panel right here? Like, damn girl, them legs. Let's stop doing things that make people angry. And we see Twice just kicking that picture of Clone Toga away. Oops, my foot's moving on its own. Stupid foot, I'm a bad boy. Don't hit me! Huh? What the hell am I saying? I thought he got over his issues. It looks like he's splitting again. Apparently, that therapy he underwent actually made it worse. Okay, so it looks like he hasn't overcome his split personality, which I'm kind of glad that's the case because the split personality is an aspect of Twice I really like. It's comedic gold.
Another small fry coming right out. Leave it to me.
But now we're seeing Skeptic and Trumpet walking into the room. It's time. Hurry it up. Shut it, nerd. We're still eating our sushi.
LOL!
I love the fact that he just called Skeptic a nerd.
Nerd!
And look at Skeptic. He is pissed with what they are doing right now. The fact that he has to escort the League right now, he can't take it. And the fact that they're talking back to him is just making him even more pissed off. Excuse me, have you forgotten that we were the ones who paid for that sushi? Not to mention your treatment, the editing of the new footage, and Toga's coat. All thanks to us. So they even had to buy Toga a new coat. Okay. Oh yeah? And whose charity was it that allowed that old baldy to stay in this hideout when he should be in a casket right about now? Oh, we're gonna get some good banter. I'm gonna love just the interactions between Twice and Skeptic. And then Trumpet is just like, that's enough, Skeptic. The Supreme Redestro chose these people. And we see Trumpet just touching something on his wristband. And Redestro's words are, and always have been, the words of Destro. And look at this mansion right here. It is huge. Whoa, wait a minute. What's going on the wall? Yo, they've got a secret tunnel underground.
Secret tunnel, through the mountains. Secret tunnel, yeah.
I mean, what mansion would not have a secret corridor leading to a basement? Like, to the Batcave, everybody. We're going full-on Bruce Wayne Batman with this. Like, there is most likely a Batcave underneath this mansion. Or in this case, a Liberation Cave. Yo, that's awesome. So, Trumpet reveals the secret door with a staircase leading to an elevator, and the elevator shows 4 sublevels. And we're going all the way down.
Who's number 46,853?
Oh, double page spread right here. And we've got a liberation rally going on underneath the mansion. Everyone is packed down in the sublevel right here. Even Gigantomachia, you can see him in the back, towering over everyone. How did they get him down here? Do they honestly have a door big enough for that behemoth? But everyone is down on the floor while we see Shigaraki, Trumpet, and Redestro up on the stage. Redestro looks like he's sitting in a futuristic wheelchair, which I'm guessing that's how he's going to be getting around. And we see Shigaraki sitting on a really comfy chair, but it looks like he's wrapped in Apocrypha's jacket. Is Apocrypha not wearing it right now? Or are we about to get the reveal of who Apocrypha is? Like, who's underneath the parka?
Patience, my friend.
I hope we do. I hope we get that. Look at Shigaraki right here. He is all bandaged up. Looks like he's got something over where his fingers used to be. But he's got a hand. I thought they all got destroyed. I guess he had a spare hand just lying around. Ladies and gentlemen of the Liberation Army, it is I, Redestro. From this moment forward, the Superpower Liberation Army shall be reborn. So, Redestro is beginning the speech to the masses, and then Shigaraki is just thinking to himself, this thing's itchy. You know, he kind of has an overhaul look with that jacket on. And you can also see his breath coming out. You can see it with Shigaraki, Trumpet, and Redestro. So it must be cold down here in the sublevel, which explains why he's wrapped in Apocrypha's jacket. He's trying to keep warm.
Cool party.
And then we got Spinner and Toga right here. I thought all of Tomura's hands were broken. So she's asking the same question I was. Like, why does he still have one hand? Apparently, just one of them was unscathed. It's a miracle that it was still intact with all the destruction. So he's gonna make it his trademark, huh? So one was able to survive the destruction. Interesting.
Really makes you think.
Yo, Girin's here. He's amongst the Liberation soldiers right now. I wonder how he feels after being rescued that the League has now absorbed the Liberation Army into their forces. The people that kidnapped him and ripped off his fingers. I don't think he's probably too happy about this. I'd always thought that in order to enlighten the world to Destro's will, the League would be a wall that stood in our way. I firmly believed that, until that fateful day. But alas, I was blind to the truth. It honestly looks like Redestro is about to blind everyone with the shine coming off of his balding head.
Bald, bald,
Oh my god. I was a prisoner of my own blood, bound by my doctrine, but then I witnessed liberation in its purest form. And this is not a simple surrender. I believe that Tomura Shigaraki is the true liberator. He has earned my utmost respect, and thus, I am abdicating my position out of necessity. Oh my god. Look at Ryesho's face in this panel right here. He looks like a goblin the way he is drawn. The Liberation Army will now undergo its second coming, with Tomura Shigaraki at the helm as our supreme leader. And in order to follow our newfound path to liberation, the Superpower Liberation Army and the League of Villains shall join together and take on a new name. Okay, so they're becoming one group. But what's the name gonna be? This name was devised by myself and Spinner of the League. There you go, Spinner, making some contributions right there. Now, Tomura Shigaraki. Ah, that's our cue. So I'm guessing Toga and company are walking on stage right now. If you would please, do the honors. Double page spread. Everyone comes out onto the stage. The Paranormal Liberation Front. So that's the new name of this group. It's an interesting name, Paranormal Liberation Front. I'm curious as to what the official translation is going to have for the official name of the group, but knowing that Spinner was involved, it makes sense. It's a fitting name, Paranormal Liberation Front. Whoa, we see Apocrypha.
What?
Apocrypha's a woman. I was not expecting that. Okay. So the parka hood comes off and Apocrypha's a woman.
Maybe it's because I'm not a man. I'm a girl.
All right, so we do at least have one girl that survived within the Liberation Army. I bet a lot of people were not expecting that. Like, we all just assumed it was going to be male. But it's a female. Awesome. Very cool. We've discarded the title of villains and expanded superpower to an even broader interpretation. Furthermore, the 9 individuals on the stage before you have been appointed as officers and will be forming their own squadrons with the members they choose. Okay, so each member on stage, which I think is excluding Shigaraki, is now like a top officer of the Paranormal Liberation Front. But names are no different from this thing. A decoration. Call us whatever you want. And the crowd goes wild. They are cheering like crazy.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
Yo, Hawks is here. Hawks is in the crowd. He was invited to the rally, which makes sense because he's trying to get in Dabi's good graces. We were too late. Hawks was too slow to stop this. That's why this flew under the radar so easily. What the hell happened in Daika? It was you guys, right? If we had just captured the League already, then civilians wouldn't have had to die. Whoa, wait a minute. Dabi's unzipping the bag. Are we about to see what's in this bag?
And here we go.
Behold.
Yup. Yup, we're seeing it. No. Horikoshi. No. Damn. That looks like Best Jeanist. Got the hairstyle, you got the jean turtleneck coming over the face. Hawks might have done it. Did Hawks seriously just kill Best Jeanist? Could he honestly go through with it? Because based on his dialogue, it's definitely leading us to assume that he has the resolve to actually kill Best Jeanist and present him to Dabi. But he's got to convince Dabi that this is the real Best Jeanist. So is there any way that he's still working alongside Best Jeanist to just create a really good dummy, a good decoy to really look like Best Jeanist and to fool Davi and the League of Villains.
Maybe.
It could go either way at this point. But if this is the real Best Jeanist, I feel so bad for the Best Jeanist fans. Setting aside the issue of whether he is who you say he is, the fact remains that you did kill someone. An army unified under one will. Feel Good Inc. and their vast network. Detnerat Corporation, which has a strong connection with the hero industry, and most likely several more high-end Nomu. This group could do just about anything. Exactly. The power that Shigaraki now has at his disposal is insane, and Hawks recognizes that. Shigaraki. Even in this superhuman society overflowing with heroes, Shigaraki now commands power equal to, if not greater than, the heroes. And if Hawks is saying that, you know the heroes are basically screwed. They need to step up their game right now to even stand a chance against Shigaraki and the new Paranormal Liberation Front.
What are you doing?
And you just have Redestro with so much energy. He's rubbing his hands together. Excellent work, sir. May I offer you something to drink? Get lost. With pleasure. Trumpet, let's get lost. This is hard to watch. Oh my god. Redestro is really like brown-nosing Shigaraki right here. Like, that is overacting right there. Really trying to overplease the new Supreme Leader. And Trumpet's like, this is tough to watch. Like, dude, what's wrong with you? Which kind of makes me wonder now, it's like, this has to all be an act by Redestro. It just has to be. How did a guy like that become a CEO? Exactly, Spinner. And then, as Shigaraki was walking away, he falls down to the ground. It was a miracle that he even survived with those injuries, so I'm not surprised. The Paranormal Liberation Front, huh? What an overly bombastic name, but I suppose it's not as bad as a cheap title like the League of Villains. So, I'm guessing that's the doctor coming in. I tamed Makia. I take it I've met your lofty standards now? And then Mr. Compress says, is that Dr. Ujiko? You regained your memories and reverted back to the old you, including your quirk. As promised. I will grant you power, if that is what you desire. And look at that calm face on Shigaraki right there. He is ready. I mean, he has so much power already. Does he even need this to be bestowed upon him by the doctor? But he's gonna get it, and I'm curious if this is actually going to be a quirk-based power, or if it's something else entirely. I really want to know what it's gonna be. But first, there's always a catch. But first, there's just one small favor I'd like you to do for me. I'd like you to transport something for me.
What is that?
And is that a feather floating in this panel right here? Is Hawks trying to eavesdrop on Shigaraki and the doctor's conversation? Can he hear things through his feathers? I mean, that quirk helps out a lot. The fact that he can just detach these feathers and then just continue about just doing normal things. Because as he's possibly eavesdropping, he's just talking with the Liberation soldiers like, let's liberate some stuff. And they're all freaking out like, I can't believe Hawks is here. The #2 pro hero is going to be a part of this organization. Hey, what are you doing over there, #2? And then Davi comes over, getting all buddy-buddy with Hawks. You sure look happy. Of course. Introduce me to everyone, would ya? It's not over yet. I still have a patron here. I need to get a handle on the whole situation and report this to Endeavor and everyone immediately. All right, Hawks. From here on out, if you fall behind, Japan is finished. Danger looms. Next issue. New developments. end of chapter 240. This was a good epilogue chapter. This tied up the My Villain Academia arc perfectly. And my best guess is that next chapter, new arc starts, we're going back to our heroes, and I'm just excited to see where we are going to go. But I can't wait to reread this arc now that this chapter is out. This just is a good bookend to where we started with chapter 218 up until now with chapter 240. This was a great chapter. Great send-off for the My Villain Academia arc. Good epilogue. And now, I just can't wait to see where chapter 241 is going to take us. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 240 of My Hero Academia. This most likely ends off the My Villain Academia arc, and all I can say is this arc was amazing. But now, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on the events that went down in this chapter, but also give me your guys' overall thoughts on the My Villain Academia arc as a whole. What are you guys' thoughts on the new name of the organization, Paranormal Liberation Front? Do you guys think that is the real best genist inside that bag, or is it a dummy decoy? And what is the new power that the Doctor is going to bestow upon Shigaraki? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon. That way you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction, considering we're about to be going into a new story arc. But if you guys want to talk about other things besides My Hero Academia, or if you guys want to talk about My Hero Academia outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So until next week, when we have chapter 241, most likely the start of a new arc, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus ultra.